the product that you will drool at because these are so good. Caran Neocolor II water-soluble oil pastels. They're actually technically water-soluble wax crayons, but they function so much like oil pastels you can pretty much consider them oil pastels. My set is the second to biggest set. There's a big gift set with 46 more colors that I didn't invest in that has more metallics in it. There's the top tray, and under it we have the spectrum colors up here. Hello? Where's the other tray? Oh, okay. There's an actual metal tray holding these up. So now you can see the color range of the set. Push that back a little so you can see them all. Now I've got all the yellows here, browns, grays, earth tones in between. Then all the other spectrum colors are on the second tray. But we're not going to have this on stage because you can see it's taking up the whole camera area. So we're going to just pile all these pastels off to the side. Now that you've seen it, you don't need to keep looking at it. Pick out the white pastel from the bottom tray and try drawing with white on black and see how this looks. One of the good things, wonderful things about the Caran product is how opaque they are on black. This is a piece of black sanded Colourfix pastel paper, and I'm doing a white gradient, describing a little curve in the negative space, and also filling in a bit of a white underpainting that might become something else. By going under your sketches with a monochrome underpainting, black on white or white on black, you can establish value before you start bringing color into it. So I'm just going to do this little abstract here, various abstract squiggles, so just a couple of curves, and then we're going to shade these. Notice that I've got much stronger white here at the center, at that focal point. And let's just put another strong white element down here. But let's not stop here. We've used white. Now we'll add some color. Start with some yellow here. Notice that the yellow, which is very light yellow, is almost as opaque as the white itself. So I can shade outward from that with like a darker yellow. And just continue this little motif for a while. This is the sort of thing you could use for a bookmark, but I wouldn't because it's a little smeary. And shade out a little with this brighter gold. And I think from there we'll go actually to an earth gold. Earth gold rather than going into the bright oranges. Yeah, something like a yellow ochre type of color. And we'll let that go to brown, and then I think we're out of area here. But you can see that you can get a beautiful progression of color on this, and here where I've been going heavily, I see a little problem. It's a solvable problem, but it's something you'll always run into with oil pastels. I think you can see this even on the video. Yep, looking at the camera image there. Yep. Here is a crumble. My stick has crumbled, and that little piece of brown came loose. Now you can either tap your art to knock it off, or you can do something really interesting by taking a knife, like a palette knife, or in this case my nail clippers, and press it in, working it back into the color where it belongs. Now, a lot of times I will just blend the little crumbles right back in. Caran products don't generate as many of them as the cheaper ones, but you will get those all the time. if you're using cheap oil pastels. It's the price you pay for paying $5 to get a 60-color set. That's the huge advantage to getting the cheap oil pastels, and it's worth it. It is worth it because you get a sketch medium that you can afford even if you're homeless. I am not kidding. You can get into oil pastels no matter what your budget is, because the cheap ones are actually pretty good. They function pretty well. They're bold, they're colorful, they allow all kinds of things. Now we're shading into this band with the peach and then a little bit of pink, and then I think from there I'll go into some blue tints. Blue or lavender, something like that. I'm still going pretty heavily, but you'll notice how beautiful these colors are coming up. Oh yeah, let's give it a violet edge going all the way down. That'll help unify it a little when I start getting these other colors in there. Look at how the black makes these colors pop. That's the thing I love about these particular pastels on this surface. You can work on black and get the most incredible effects. I did this wonderful landscape recently entirely with these pastels on black, and that's of course why I've got the black. Now where do we want to go on the other side of it? Let's go to greens. Let's go yellow-green here. And bring the yellow-green all the way down into the heavily white area. Notice that I'm not getting as deep a color as I'm getting when I put the yellow-green directly over the black. Where I've got the white underpainting, it's coming up lighter, and that was on purpose. Now we'll get a slightly darker spring green. It's still a pretty light yellow-green. We'll go into deeper greens from here, but this almost wing-like shape is going to go down in these greens. Now I have to choose whether I'm going to go toward the emerald greens, which I can do without making much of a value shift by choosing another light tint. Now this is a much bluer green. You can see that. But it will lead into using darker greens in this area that I've shaded over here. Now here's a bright emerald green. It shades beautifully into that previous match, and from there we'll shade off into very deep blue-green, I think. Yeah. Give it a nice strong blue-green. And all this is just a little abstract done in water-soluble oil pastels. I haven't put water on it because I love these so much for their texture. It doesn't matter if I'm using water. There's how the design looks to me. You can bring the camera down a little farther, bring it closer to the art, let you see it in detail, provided I can line it up well. Alrighty. Looks like my filming area is working out. There we go. Oh. And there went the camera unclipping itself. So our test video, narration and motion, and my getting used to speaking while working, results in this nice little oil pastel thing, and I could edit this and get rid of half of it, but I probably won't. It's just a goofy testing video. Let's see how much time I filled. Anyway, enjoy it. There will be better ones to come.